all these so-called Pan-Africanists who keep pushing these African civilizations and whatnot, they talk about places like Mali and, you know what I'm saying, they talk about people who came from other places and set up civilization, if there were any there. You know, the ones they might talk about, these are people who were not native, people who came from other places. Remember I said our people migrated into Africa. The only ones who are native to Africa is your tribal Africans. And you know how your tribal Africans look. You see, you know there's a vast difference between the tribal Africans and us. Okay? You either Mesoamerican or you're tribal African. You see? And like I said, a lot of the Mesoamericans, we sailed from place to place to place, and we ended up in a lot of the places we ended up at. A lot of people want to say, you know, that our origin is in Africa. No, our origin is really the Middle East, where we first projected down when this was all one Pangea, one landmass. It was not Africa. It was east of Africa. You can call it Africa all you want to, but let's be for real. Who's really drawing the territory lines? The so-called white man. You see, just like he made up Europe, there's no such thing as Europe. There's only Asia. He made it. He incorporated or encompassed Europe in there. But like I said, your Caucasians are really Asian people anyway. They're just pale Asians. That's why they call Caucasians or Caucasiatics. But the Mesoamerican civilization, even by the admission of the so-called white man, is the oldest civilization. Remember I did that chart where I read the 10 oldest civilizations on Earth? 4 of those civilizations were Mesoamerican civilizations. Not one of them was African. Now, if you want to sit up here and say, oh, well, you know, the white man said that, so we don't trust what the so-called white man said, well, then if that's the case, then you can't trust being African, because he's the one that told you was African. And he was the one that claimed Africa is the oldest civilization. That didn't come from you so-called black people or you so-called black scholars or none of y'all was doing any archaeological work. You basically were going off of what Caucasians told you. Or I don't care what all these so-called black scholars and all this other stuff. Like I said, even down to your Dr. Benz and them, they stayed talking about Egypt. They stayed talking about our people in the East. But it's no coincidence, I said this again, it's no coincidence that these people made sure they stayed away from Mesoamerica. They stayed away from the Olmecs, the Aztec, the Inca, the Mayan, the Toltecs. Those are our people. They stayed away from that. How is it that you claim to be such a historian on so-called quote-unquote black people, but you stayed away from the obvious heritage that belongs to us? You stayed away from you stayed away from the obvious heritage that is connected to us. We still here in America. So, like I said, why are you looking for your origins anyplace else other than in America? We're not in Egypt no more. We're not in Israel. We're not in Saudi Arabia or wherever the hell y'all claim we come from. Y'all looking all over the planet for your origins, and your origins are here, right where you stand. And even the people who you claim that we connected to that come from on the other side, they trying to come here around us. You see, they trying to come here around us. That don't tell you something? I'm sick and tired of our people acting like we the stepchildren to everybody here. We the stepchildren to the so-called Africans. We got to be their stepchildren. We got to be the ones who they claim they put us out of Africa. And this is why a lot of these so-called Africans walk around with this attitude when it comes to our people. This is why they walk around like that, because they think of us as the bastard children that they put out of their homeland. We nobody's bastard children. We are nobody's bastard children. We are nobody's slave capture. You see, we were already here in America. We were already here. Before the so-called white man, before 1526 Tariq Nasheed, before 1555 Minister Farrakhan, we was already here in America before the white man came. Before slave ships and all that, we were already here. Israelites, we were already here, making that announcement. We were here as the Mesoamerican people. And again, y'all believe that false narrative of the white man that the so-called Indians were here, the first people in this land. And there's factual proof that they were not. Nor were these so-called Mexicans or these other people who are all Asiatic people. They're all Asiatics, East Indian Asiatics. We're not Asiatic people at all. We are Mesoamerican people. And the word American comes from us. It's a Mayan word. I said that before. Get that out of your head about this lie about Amerigo Vespucci. I heard you Israelites, you guys was up here talking about, yeah, America was named after Amerigo Vespucci, and you guys still pushing that lie. Now, either you guys need to go back and do your research, do your homework, or just go sit the hell down somewhere, because y'all helping to push that lie too. See, because the lie that we came out of Africa fits in with their slave narrative of being put on so-called slave ships. I said that, but not from Africa. But see, again, like I said, our people are already here. We have heritage. We have roots here in America. The oldest Americans here, the Mesoamericans, we are the oldest people here, and this is the oldest civilization. They did not, your so-called Caucasians, did not give Africa as any civilization. And I'm going to tell you something. The reason why they want to tell us that we come out of Africa, yet they point us to Africa for a reason. The Caucasians point us to Africa for a reason, because they're trying to point us away from civilization. They're trying to point us away from civilization. They're trying to strip us of any rights or any reality or connection to any civilizations that we started. This is how they strip us, by saying we come from Africa. Because you tell me, what so-called African civilization can you go to right now and look at what's been there thousands and thousands and thousands of years? You show me. What African civilizations? Don't tell me about no tribal people and no damn tents or primitive people that they can show you. Show me a civilization with pyramids and all this other stuff that, I'm not talking about people that came from outside Africa and into Africa, because our people came over into Africa. We was not from there. A lot of our people went into Africa when they left out of the Middle East, fleeing these Romans and Greeks and all these other. We went into Africa. That's the only thing you Israelites got right. That's the only thing you got right. You see, some of our people, but the mass majority. If you're 9 times out of 10, if you were born here, and you were you were born here, you got generations and generations of people here, and you don't know beyond America where you come from, then 9 times out of 10, it's because you are from America. You are foundational, as Tariq Nasheed said. You are a foundational bronze American. You are foundational bronze Americans, those copper-colored races that were spoken about in the 1828 Merriam-Webster Dictionary. No, we are not no Moors. No, we are not no, and like I said, that's a nice term, Moors and all that. I get that. They come over, whatever. That's our family too. But they, all that, looking over into the East, like I said, we ain't got to look into the East. Because my thing is, if y'all not going back to the East, if you're not going back to the East or where you come from, you here. Like I said, you got generations and generations of people that are here. Like I said, I see my face in the ancient Mesoamerican Mayan culture. I see my face several times there. People that look like me. I can't look into Africa and look at them tribal Africans and see nobody that look like me. I'm looking in ancient Mesoamerica and see my face on the walls. That's my people. The walls and drawings that they made of themselves, not these fake drawings where they putting these Mexicans and all these Indian-looking people up there now. Those are all false drawings that hide the reality. See, this is why this had to get out right now. You see, the so-called white man couldn't destroy the evidence. He couldn't destroy it fast enough. The Mexicans got it in their museum. British got it in their museum, but they don't keep it here in America. Why? Why is there no Mesoamerican museum? You got an Indian museum. You got a so-called Native American museum. You got a so-called Native American museum. You got all these different people's museums over here, but the only people that don't have a museum, the people who was in here in this society first. You know about all these ancient people, but rarely do they ever show you anything about the ancient Mesoamericans. Rarely, because those people are so dark, bronze-skinned and bronze-skinned and beige complexion skin. They got all different ranges of bronze people in those societies. They don't want to show that. They don't want to show that. They ain't make up enough fake drawings to show our people. And see, I told you before, this whole thing about telling us we come from Africa is to lock us out of our civilizations, lock us out of our heritage, and lock us out of our societies. Because by accepting that you come from Africa, that lie that we all came from Africa on slave ships, that lie they tell, by accepting that lie, you then lock yourself out of the long thousands of year heritage of the Mesoamerican people that were here in the society. You lock yourself out of that. You lock yourself out of that once you accept you African or African American. You lock yourself out of Mesoamerican culture and civilization. You see? And then you give it over to these goddamn Mexicans, man. You hand it over to these Mexicans. They up here lying, talking about they the Mayans. They up here, they even got a damn motorcycle show on damn FX called the Mayans, I think it is, and it's a bunch of Mexican motorcycle gang. So all these people going to steal our heritage. They want to tell you that the Egyptians was Arab-looking, Caucasian, whatever. They want to say they everything but bronze people. They're going to sit here and lie and steal our heritage. And like I said, if it wasn't for me saying something about it, they would have succeeded in doing this. Because even these guys up here now who pushing this, we ain't African, the most they're going to say, like this guy Dane Calloway and them, the most they're going to say is we black Indians. We ain't even copping to that whole black Indian thing. That's too watered down for us. We don't need to be walking around with no fake straight hair on our head and feathers in our head. We go back way back further than that. That's not the real, like I said, that's nothing but a watered-down version of our true culture and heritage from Mesoamerica. Most of that stuff, like I said, what you see from the so-called Native Americans, so-called Indians, I'm not even calling them Native Americans, the so-called American Indians, the things that you see that they represent, that's coming from the ancient Mesoamerican society. You see, I told you these people crossed the Bering Straits as Asians and mixed in with our people. I showed you the picture of the first mixture of those people when they mixed in with our people. You see these real dark-skinned mulatto-looking Asians with straight hair because they mixed in with our people. Okay? They mixed in with our people. And they took our customs, and like I said, they were not able to really farm the land and work the land. That's why our people did it. We were the ones going in and farming land. Like I said, they had societies of farm societies. So again, if they had whole farming cultures and societies within these ancient societies, then that means they knew how to farm the land. They knew how to eat. Because one of the things that is the foundation of any civilization is that you know how to work the land, or you know how to keep the land fertile to grow food. You can't have a society or civilization if you cannot work the land, farm the land, grow food from the land. And our people did that. And we fed everybody, even the Caucasians. They didn't know how to farm this land. We built everything here, from their damn White House to their damn slave plantations. We built those. They took the people that was here and they put them in slavery, who knew how to knew how to farm, who knew how to build, and they forced you into slavery to build their things, to build their houses, build their plantations, took our land, all of this. And they're going to tell that lie they took us from someplace else and we not natives to this land. Then when these goddamn devils these crackers tell us, oh, we got to go back to Africa. You niggas need to go back to Africa. They don't know the history. That's why they're saying that. And you feel some kind of way when they tell you that, because you thinking like, well, damn, I did come from Africa. They did bring me here. No, that's a lie. They didn't bring you anywhere. They kidnapped you as free people and put you in slavery. You see, we're going to stop with this whole, we black Indians and we really just black Indians. And no, we're going to stop with that. That needs to stop. We the only ones right now using that term Mesoamerican, because we intend to have that as the true heritage of our people, the true nationality of our people here in North America, South America, Central America, Mexico, wherever bronze people are of Mesoamerican descent. This is our culture. This is our heritage. We're going to have our own names, our own language. Mesoamerican. You see, this is why things have not worked for our people in society, because we kept trying to put on everybody else's false culture, man. We tried to take everybody else's culture for our own. We took on we took on people's religions. We took on their culture, their identity, and it didn't work for us. This will work for us. But the only pushback we're going to have is Negroes who still want to push this African narrative, or these Caucasians who still want to tell us we come from Africa too. So the pushback is going to be from black and white. The pushback from us being Mesoamerican is going to be from black and white. But we don't give a damn. We don't give a damn. We standing up as Mesoamericans. And I guarantee you, the ones of our people who are in their right state of mind, they rather embrace the Mesoamerican heritage and what we laying down in this community, and going to want to become part of this community because of that. Because nobody's really feeling that whole African thing. Nobody's feeling that. People feeling the Mesoamerican thing. We feel indigenous and connected to Mesoamerica. You see, the bright colors and clothing and the hairstyles and things like that. We feel connected to Mesoamerica. We feel connected to that word America, but like I said, we didn't want to use American because, like I said, we was the first American. Again, Mesoamerican denotes the first Americans. You see, even the so-called white man, he acknowledges that the Mesoamericans are the first and real Americans, even though we don't give a damn what he thinks. But like I said, if it's all in alignment, then so be it. But the same man that lied to you and told you that you came from Africa on slave ships, like I said, is the same man, or the same male, I should say, the same male who does not want us to know about our Mesoamerican heritage. They don't want us to know about our Mesoamerican heritage. They don't want us to use that term Mesoamerican, or they're going to have an issue with it over time. Because, see, this is still an anomaly. You still got people, like I said, so if you hear anybody saying Mesoamerican after me, you know they're copying from me. You see, all that foundational, all that black stuff, all that nonsense about black this and black that, all that got to go out the window, I told you, with African American. You see? Because as long as we with this black nonsense, they're going to keep on attaching this American black American history to us. Blacked out American history, which is Mesoamerican culture. That's blacked out. That's the only thing that's blacked out about our people. We are in the darkness about our true nationality and who we are. We are in the darkness with that. You see, they got us in darkness with that. But yes, the oldest civilization is is older than Africa. They just prove right now they just admitting that all these other civilizations like Sumerian is older than Africa. Because, like I said, you can sit up here and say, oh, Africa's the cradle of mankind. Like I said, we're not mankind. Mankind is your human race, your Caucasians, your Asians, your East Indians. We are the Amun race. We are not mankind. So therefore, Africa is not the cradle of our civilization. It is not the cradle of our origin. It is not. That is a lie y'all got from the so-called white man. And I told you, all you so-called black scholars who want to challenge me on this, who got something to say about it, because I'm sharing it everywhere, all you pro-black Pan-African Negroes, because there was this one guy up here talking about, saying Tariq Nasheed was a hustler because he's trying to claim a Native American ancestry. Now, first of all, I ain't heard him claim no Native. He said foundational black Americans, or, I didn't hear him sending out no black Indians, but whether all of that is, like I said, this is the guy that's saying this is some Pan-African going around saying, to claim Native American, or as we say in Mesoamerican heritage and not African, is some kind of way of self-hating. That's not no self-hate. You see, a lot of these so-called Pan-Africanists, they try to shame you into connecting yourself with Africa. You see, and it's false African civilization that they talk about so much. There's no African civilizations. And like I said, I want somebody to point to the African civilizations. Point to them. Don't point to nothing where people came in and set that up, because Africa is known as a tribal place of primitive people and animals and things like that. We are not tribal or primitive people at all. That's not who we are by nature. And like I said, you could tell that the people who are the tribal primitive Africans, those are the people who would not have been able to they would not have been able to live in an America that was thriving and growing, they would not have been able to live here. They would have never adjusted here. That's why I said they didn't bring Africans over here. They said the smallest percentage, of 6% small percentage in early 1800s, late 1700s, they brought those out. But they didn't bring them over here. They dropped them off in places like South America and Central America, certain places. But he was already people there already too. Leftover people from the Mesoamerican cultures that were left here, from the Aztec to the Inca to the Mayan, the Olmec people that was left here. I told you all of these civilizations are interlocking. These are all interlocking and connected civilizations. Olmec, Aztec, Inca, Mayan. These are all the same people through different time frames. This is why the white man refers to them as one society, as Mesoamerican. He doesn't break them up. He calls them Mesoamerican and groups them under that terminology for a reason, because he knows those are the same people. He knows the history of the Mesoamerican people. The history of the heritage of the Mesoamerican people is our heritage. Those of us who were born in America, that's our heritage. You see, and by us, again, like I said, by us sitting up here claiming Africa as our home of origin or whatever the case may be, we cutting off all other civilizations. See, again, like I said, you cut off ancient Egypt. When you say you African, you cut off ancient Egypt. You cut off Mesoamerica. You cut off Sumeria. Everything, anything in the Middle East, you cut off. Early Europe, where our people was, you cut all that off, and you give it over to other people. You see, you give other people our cultures. When they could just say we African. That's us handing over all the rest of our culture. That's people able to come and take our place and usurp our images, and people come and make up these fake images. Because they're going to keep on now, and I guarantee you now that, I'm using this term Mesoamerican for our people going forward. Now that I started using it, watch, you're going to have all these people coming out of the woodwork trying to debunk it over time. You're going to have the Negroes pushing them. Oh, brother, why you don't want to be African? What you ashamed of Africa for? These niggas ain't in Africa, ain't never been to Africa, but they going to tell somebody that I'm ashamed of Africa. I'm not ashamed of Africa because I'm not African. And most of our people in Africa are not African. Not really, because the real Africans are tribal Africans. Those are the real Africans. So I don't care if you was born in Nigeria. I don't care if you was born in damn Ghana, wherever the hell you was born at. Like I said, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Because if you're not a tribal African and you don't look like those people, then you're not native to Africa. You're not native to Africa. You see, you are implants. A lot of our people are Mesoamericans in Africa. You see, a lot of our people are Mesoamericans in Africa. See, again, Mesoamerica or Mesoamerican is a heritage. It is a nationality or internationality, because we have the longest civilization in history. So again, by us saying we African, what civilization do we link ourselves to exactly? What civilization? Show me a long, ongoing, standing African civilization today. Show me. Show me one from 100 years ago, 200, 300, 400 years ago. Show me where we supposedly came from. Did we come from tribal beginnings or not? The answer is not. See? And like I said, I stand for this so much. I stand for this so much because, like I said, our heritage. This is our heritage. And like I said, a lot of people have been complicit in hiding our heritage. I told you, you're going to find out as time goes on. As I told you, I promise you that. You're going to find that all these Pan-African pro-black Negroes, they've been complicit with the so-called white man in hiding our Mesoamerican culture and civilization. They've been complicit with him in hiding that because he gave them some damn Scooby snacks. He gave them a few nigger biscuits off the damn table, some nigger biscuits. Throw them some damn roach crumbs, and they sit up here and say, "Oh, I'll mislead them. We'll teach them that they're African. That's all you want." You see, just to mislead our people. You'll notice how much of the fit it is for us when we use that terminology Mesoamerican, how more people are going to be feeling that than the whole African American thing. You see, because what did I tell you the other night? Did I not say that these people want to push the whole African American narrative because that's a way of constantly reminding you that you were cargo, you came over on cargo slave ships from Africa to America. That's why they call you African American, to remind you of your made-up fake voyage, your made-up fake slave voyage from Africa, wherever at in Africa. They never tell you where. They real general about where they got you from. Oh, we came from the west coast of Africa. Where in the west coast of Africa? Where? That's pretty vague. That's not vivid. That's pretty vague. You just came from the West Coast. Oh, West Coast, East Coast, West Side? Which one? It's all games, man. It's all games. And like I said, the games are over. The games are over. Y'all, a lot of you guys been dancing around Mesoamerica. You've been dancing around it. A lot of these guys dance around it because, like I said, a lot of these people, they don't want to own the Mesoamerican culture because it really wasn't in their mind to call us Mesoamerican. Like I said, it's always something incomplete. You want to be, they want to be Indians, but they want to be black Indians. You see, even that whole black thing, I told you that had to go because there's no black civilization. There's no black people. There's no black civilization. The only black people or the black-looking people is them tribal Africans. Those are your black people. They got burnt by the sun. You see, there's no civilization for them, so they link us to a bunch of tribal savages who sitting around here primitive as hell. That's not where we come from. And like I said, and there's no disrespect to my people in Africa because a lot of Mesoamericans are all over the world. A lot of Mesoamericans are all over the world. This is no disrespect to my people who are living in Africa. Just because you living in Africa do not mean you African. I can go live in damn Japan, don't make me Japanese. I could go live in Italy, don't make me Italian. You see? The white man could come live over here in America, but it don't make him American. Not really. Because the only real Americans are the Mesoamericans. Even Merriam-Webster told the white man telling you, going to tell you Negroes this, and y'all still going to push this. Now here the white man, they master, he telling you that you are the original Americans, the Mesoamerican people. They telling you that you the real original Americans here before everybody. The copper-colored races of this land who are referred to as American. The copper-colored races. Who are the copper-colored races? Y'all going to deny that? Of course you are, because like I said, the beast trains you Negroes to want to embrace that African dim and dark fake heritage of us in bondage because for some strange reason y'all think that it's some kind of badge of honor that they telling you they brought you over here on slave ships where you were pissing and shitting all on top of each other and being conquered. They telling you that's your history. They telling you that's your history. You see? And like I said, we had a lot of the people, our people came over from the east as well. Our people came over, they came over from Mali and all them places like that. Our people came over from there. Those are people from the east. The ones being called Moors. Our people was over there too, and they came over and mixed in with our Mesoamerican ancestors. So it's all the same thing. Our people, the point of origin is the Middle East of Africa and America. That's our points of origin. We have origin in, like I said, and those are our people who came here and mixed in, like I said, it's all Mesoamerica, all of it. Whether it be Mesopotamia, which is Sumeria, Mesopotamia, Mesoamerica, it's all ours. Ancient Europe, all these civilizations are ours. Nubia, all of those civilizations are ours. Don't fall for this African thing, because all that's really being used to lock us out of civilization. You think you're gaining something, but you're losing something when you calling yourself African American. You losing all your civilization. You giving everybody a right to take your civilization, because as soon as you point to and say, nah, man, we ain't come from no Africa or no slave shit. Our people are Mesoamerican. Or we'll say we Mesoamerican, and the first thing they going to say is, oh, no, see, they brought you over here on slave shit. Y'all been saying y'all was African American. Now y'all want to change up. No, we didn't say we was African Americans. Y'all said we was African Americans. You Caucasian through your one of your number one used to be number one puppets, Jesse Jackson. That's where that phrase came from, African American. To constantly remind our people and keep it in their head as a form of programming that we are the product of slavery, that we came over on slave ships, and that we were forced into bondage. So we are from African to American pipeline. No, we are not the African to American pipeline. No, we were not smuggled into America like some goddamn cargo. We were already here, and we watched the white man, these Caucasians, bring their ass off of these ships, dirty and stinking and roach-infested and rat-infested ships that they came on to get from the persecution of their land into what they call a new world. Well, this world wasn't new. It was new to them. We were already here trading. We were already here trading and prospering. That's what they came here for. They came here because they heard about what we were doing. They didn't just sit out on the sails and the seas and just was going wherever we end up. No, that's a damn lie. They already heard about this. Who gets their families and their people together and just go sailing wherever and we going to end up wherever? No, nobody was doing that. They had a destination where they was going. Even with this damn Columbus, they had a destination on where they was going. They was trying to find the new world, as they said, the new world. The new world is basically a place where the so-called white man has not set foot or conquered. That's what they was calling the new world, a place where the so-called white man did not set his foot on, did not degrade or degenerate yet, did not adulterate yet, did not pervert yet. That's the new world. Oh, a new world for us to tear apart? A new world for us to spread our disease? A new world for us to bring rats and roaches? That's the new world. A new world where these people, they fighting amongst each other. We could just come right in. We could gentrify, nationalize this whole thing. Or as they say, colonize this whole thing. That's what happened. And so when I say that our civilization, our true Mesoamerican civilization is our true heritage, is our true history, our true origins are here in this society. We have, like I said, we have a farming culture. We had an architectural culture, an agricultural society, all of that, right? I was watching something. They were showing you the organization, the structure, how advanced and how structured the ancient Mayans and the Aztec and those people were, how structured they were in their societies and their civilizations. They were showing that. They marveled at how structured our people were, you see, but they don't want to give us that credit because I told you the best way to hide a people and their true heritage is to just tell them they black. Black them out. I told you that whole black thing was meant to be a satanic spell. Black magic. That's real black magic, getting us to believe, getting our delusional selves to believe that our skin is black. See, that's the whole thing. And like I said, so many of the people have accepted this as the truth. And like I said, it's the worst thing in the world to be in your land where everybody came and everybody is sitting up here telling you go back to Africa. Everybody came here. You watched everybody come here. You watched everybody come here and prosper. You watched everybody come here and prosper. You watched everybody come here and prosper off your backs in your land. And you had to feel ashamed when people calling you African and people saying you African booty scratcher and you niggas came slinging in trees in Africa and all that nonsense. Because they got some coon-ass Negroes, Mesoamerican coons. They got some coon-ass Mesoamericans who they made a deal with to fool their people, to lie to their people. Because these niggas who up here pushing these lies, they Mesoamericans too, man. They not no Africans. They Mesoamericans too, unfortunately. You see? And they'll sit here and act like we delusional, we hate ourselves, we want to deny our African roots. Well, what is your African roots? You niggas want to deny your African roots. Because what did I say? Did I not say these guys still ain't tell you why they don't have no African names? They still ain't showed you their African names or their African origin, nor did they show you their return home to Mama Africa. Because they don't want to go to Mama Africa. Because they know deep down inside they ain't from Mama Africa. They know there's no civilization in Mama Africa. That's why the white man, the Asian, all them over there, and they doing these so-called Africans the way they doing it. You see, we got a real heritage and culture here. The same as the Italians do, same as the Spanish do, same as the Jews do. When we start talking about squadding up and getting our true heritage, real name, language, everybody all of a sudden we are called. Oh, y'all crazy. You trying to take somebody. Oh, y'all ain't no Meso. Watch, we're going to get all that from niggas. We're going to get that from Negroes who still want to be black. You know them, how they say them, what they say them, what's them guys, them Stockholm Syndrome Negroes. Because calling yourself an African American and trying to link yourself to this fake African civilization, these fake African civilizations, and calling yourself Pan-Africanism, that's nothing but a form of Stockholm Syndrome. Because I told you that whole African, Pan-African narrative is a slave narrative. It is a Caucasian lie. It is a Caucasian lie that you Negroes are willing to embrace. You're willing to embrace it. But like I said, the truth always shows itself. Because of people who truly believe what they're saying, of people who truly believe what they're saying, if they truly believe that they are Africans, why are they not over in Africa? Why isn't Umar Johnson and all these people opening their schools in Africa? Why is he not going to Liberia where there's like American bronze people there? Why is he not going in opening the school? Why is he in America? Why are you here living off of American culture, a.k.a. Mesoamerican culture? You see, and talking about Mesoamerican music, hip-hop, R&B, all this stuff. This hip-hop wasn't born in Africa. It was born here. Jazz, R&B, all that was born here. Even the sports, like I said, basketball. That was the Aztecs and the Incas that came with the basketball. They had the hoop up. It was sideways, and they would throw a ball in the hoop. Mm-hmm. So that's really what basketball goes back to. They want to talk about some Caucasian named Dr. James Naismith. All he probably did was somebody studying some ancient society, and he happened to come across the Mesoamericans in their ball game, and he was like, well, maybe we should turn the basket this way. So he probably got 9 times influenced by that. But back then, our people were playing ball games. The Mesoamerican people are known for their ball games. Handball, what would be handball today, basketball, football. Mm-hmm. The rubber people. So they had rubber, so they made balls. Mm-hmm. And they was wearing helmets, so they had some form of early football. Mm-hmm. Early basketball. They want to act like all of these things are new. They not. They not. I tell you, people was coming here, catching the tail end of those civilizations and our people, and a lot of our people passed these things down. They were tribal and things like that, and they got tribal. And, like I said, they were the offshoots of the ancient societies a lot of these, what they was calling these, the tribes. They were the offshoot of those societies. I'm talking about our bronze people, not the Mongoloids who mixed in later. These people were the offshoots. And they carried a lot of the customs of those, of the Mesoamerican people with them. Passed down. They carried a lot of the Mesoamerican culture, okay? Passed down to us. And we still got a lot of, they've got that culture with us today. You know, this is why we feel at home in America. And again, if you truly come from someplace, why is it that we don't have the desire or the hankering to get back there? Who really has a hankering or desire to get back to Africa? The most you Negroes talking about going back to is Egypt. That's the most time y'all talking about going to Egypt. Why isn't that more black people and not, you know, or just we go back to Africa? Why is that not a natural thing for us to want to go back to Africa? But you Negroes were sure, you would most surely get a trip and you get a ticket over to Egypt, you know what I'm saying, to see those pyramids. You're not interested in going to no African cities. And if you go there, you're going to go there like a tourist. You ain't going to go there like you really feel at home. You're going to go there as a tourist if you go. And you know what? People over there, they're going to treat you as a tourist because they, deep down inside, those tribal Africans, those people who are in a lot of those areas where they claim we come from, they know we're not from there. Why is it that these Africans, I'm not talking about people who are in Africa, even though some of them done picked up that tribal African mentality, and they know they too stupid to know they're not really African themselves, that they came from someplace else. But notice none of these tribal Africans or these Africans who got that tribal thing with them, why they ain't embracing you as a brother and a sister? Why ain't they embracing you? Why are they not calling you brothers and sisters? Why are they not embracing you? Why are they not saying, oh, you know, brother or sister, you come from Africa, you African just like us? They don't do that. They don't do that. Why don't they do that? You know why they don't do that? Because they know you're not what they are. And we've been stupid. We have been stupid. But we don't have no excuse anymore. We don't have any excuse anymore to be ignorant. This is like a breath of fresh air to have this Mesoamerican heritage and culture revealed to us. This is like a breath of fresh air because I'm so sick and tired of being African American. I'm so sick and tired of trying to be down with something we know deep down in our soul, deep down in our minds, and deep down in our bodies that we not with, man. Y'all want to try and act like y'all cool with wearing dashikis and gaylays and all that. When you niggas put that on, you Mesoamericans put that on, y'all niggas look like y'all in costumes, man. That don't look like no tribal cultural gear or something you supposed to wear. You niggas put that African dashiki crap on, man. Y'all look like y'all wearing a fucking costume. Raw and uncut, man. You niggas just look like y'all in a damn costume, like you could have put on a damn, Winnie the Pooh suit. You see? Y'all look like y'all wearing a costume. It don't even look like y'all don't even look right in that stuff, man. When you putting on that African clothes and them gaylays and all that, and them mud cloth and that kente cloth, y'all look stupid, man. I was never with none of that stuff. Even when they was trying to make it popular, I was never with that. It looks stupid. You see? All them dark colors, dark black and dark brown and green, dark dingy green. We are bright people, man. And you can see that in our Mesoamerican culture and our roots and all the paintings our people left behind for us. It's like our people foresaw this. Our people in the ancient world foresaw a time where we would lose our culture, lose our heritage, lose our connection with them. They saw it. Why do you think they made so many pictures of themselves to show how they look? Why do you think they did that? That was for us, man, and for the world to see. So the white man can't come and say, oh, see, those people, they was really white, like he would try and do, and make him another 50 years. He's going to tell you all the Mesoamericans was really from Europe. They was Caucasian. Watch. Give him another 50 years. See, this is why we have to have this now. We have to have this knowledge out, this history now to preserve now, man. This is exactly why. This is why we got to go into those museums and whatnot and get those pictures. They got the pictures up. We got to keep them. Again, it don't even really matter. As long as we know. We got to preserve those documentaries that's telling the truth. We got to preserve those pictures and whatnot and keep them with us, and eventually, over time, do our thing. We got to do this so that our children know who they are. And their children know who they are. And we give them the real story, not his story, but the real account. So that they ain't got to be feeling like, oh, I came over from Africa. I just feel so insecure about who I am. And, you know, these white people, these white kids calling me a monkey and a nigger, and I should go back to Africa and swing in the tree. No, you tell them to take their funky white asses back in the caves where they came from, where they was scratching fleas off of their ass, scratching fleas out of their dog fur that they call hair. You tell them to take their ass back into the caves of the Caucasus Mountains where they came from, and leave us to our pyramids and our ancient civilizations that we built thousands and thousands and thousands of years before they was thought of. If we know and we have the knowledge that we actually come from a place, and we allowing other people to say, no, y'all don't, you come from someplace else, and in saying that we agree with you and we say we're going to cut our heritage off and cut everything that we come from to placate to these people, to please them, we willing to uproot our whole heritage and our history so that these people can sit up here and lie and act like they the ones that brought culture and civilization to this society when they did not. Only thing they brought here was rats and roaches and diseases. That's all they brought here. And poverty and projects and hoods and ghettos. That's what they brought here into this society, into our ancient Mesoamerican societies, into our beautiful Mesoamerican society. We gave them food. We gave them clothing. We gave them shelter. We gave them land. We gave them herbs. And they gave you in return diseases, slavery. This is what they gave you. You know, guns in your damn face, raping your women. That's what they gave you in return for your hospitality. And also they gave you a false identity, telling you that your heritage is from a bunch of people who we dragged out of the damn hut butt-ass naked and running around worshiping a bunch of tribal gods, wooden statues, right? Worshiping wooden statues. It is an insult to be called black. That is an insult. And you people who still sit up here calling yourself black, you either too stupid to know that you're being insulted. You see Tariq Nasheed and all you people, no shot, no disrespect to you. But at this point, when you seeing the real truth, when you look in the mirror, if you look in the mirror and you see clearly that this is bronze copper tone skin that you're calling black, right? Two different shades, two different colors, two different everything, and you're going to still look in the mirror and call yourself black. That's an insult to your intelligence. That is an insult. Either you too stupid to know you're being insulted, or you are complicit in the lie that the beast wants to tell this black and white thing. You see, you are complicit in that lie. Again, a lot of these Mesoamerican Negroes who have decided to become Negroes so they can fit in with their new Caucasian masters who came over here from Europe, they decided through force, through money, through wanting to be accepted that, yeah, I'm going to lie to my people. I'm going to tell them that they come from some place. I'm going to tell them that they have a culture that is not real. I'm going to tell them that. You see, they decided to do that. They decided to just take the easy way out and lie to our people. Feed our people a lie. We don't got time to accept the lies of these people. We don't got time. Am I coming in clear? I want to make sure I'm coming in clear. We don't got time to accept the lies of these people anymore. You see, we had enough of their lies. And see, their lies are what got us in the mindset that we are in. We actually up here thinking of ourselves as second-class citizens in our country. This is our country. They are guests here. They are guests here. Then wore they goddamn welcome out. All of these people that came here who are not bronze, copper-colored people, so-called black people, who were born here, who have roots going down deep into the southern regions, the northern regions, and whatever the case may be. We got roots here. Everybody else came here from someplace else. We was always here. We watched people come to these shores. You see, they all guessed here. They all crammed in here because of what we started here. They didn't come here to no barren land. The reason why this land is not barren, the reason why it is workable and whatnot, and again, that just goes to show you, these people was not going to come to a land where they had to do so much work to get the land ready, till the land, and do all this stuff and clear all that. Who you think was doing all the clearing of the trees, chopping the trees down, making the planting the fields and things, building the houses? That was our people doing that. They caught our people by slavery, by gun, and forced to kill our people and had us do this, build their societies. And then they want to turn around and lie and say that that's not what happened. We just came here to pick cotton. Really? That's all we was here to do, pick cotton, huh? We didn't build none of your houses that you live in. We didn't build these plantations. We didn't build the White House. We didn't build the railroads. We built the railroads. Before the Asians got here, they came later. We built the railroads. They was losing slave labor. Why the hell? You really think the white man see, you know, I ain't got to pay people to work? You think he ain't going to get in on that? You think he ain't going to get in on giving and not having to pay niggas to work and make all this money off this railroad? Think again. They used our people because we were the best labor and we were free. We were free labor. So they used us to build a lot of things here. You see? Because we had the civilization here and we were builders. You see, you pass down building trades to your people because, again, with the houses, we were living in houses. We were not living in any tents. We were not living in any camps like no so-called Indians, the Mongoloids were. We were not living like that. We were living on farms. We were living in houses. Long as you can remember and recall, like I said, the white man didn't teach our people how to farm. So how did we know how to farm, farm and grow crops? How did we know how to do all that? They didn't teach you that. What need would they have to teach you that if all you came here to do is pick cotton? How did you know how to farm the land? How did you know how to feed your families? We got generations among generations and generations of farmers. You see, that goes all the way back to the ancient world. We was always feeding ourselves, planting corn, planting avocados. All that come from us. And by you calling yourself African, you handed it over to somebody else. Yeah, we went to different places and got seeds from other places, and we planted them here in the society. Yeah, they talking about the maize. That's what they call. Again, see that maize? They call it corn maize. You see, maize. We planted maize here, corn. You see, we planted all this stuff, avocados. We planted all this stuff here. We ate the buffaloes. We ate the buffalo and the bison and the birds and the fish. We did all that. We fed off of those things. We ate those things. We were catching fish in the rivers. We were swimming in the rivers, washing up in certain lakes and things like that. We did all that. We had houses and land. You see, we did all that already. They came and took all that from our people at gunpoint. They see we didn't have no guns. We wasn't organized. We wasn't structured. So they just came and took it and put us in slavery. And like I said, the Caucasians allowed it. Your Caucasian government allowed it. Because, see, they didn't want the native people to have any land. Notice, they made sure that in this new government that they were setting up, that we would not have our land. They would take our land. They would appropriate, aka steal our land. Yet the so-called white man got the nerve to talk about crime and that we criminals and whatnot. They came here and stole our land at gunpoint. At gunpoint. Not with no 42 goddamn dollars or $30 or whatever they claim they gave some Indians. Man, that's a load of BS, man. That's a load of BS. They did it at gunpoint. Groups of them at gunpoint. That's why they let them in here, so they had the numbers to come in with guns, to be in the military, and next thing you know, setting up these police forces and things like and these what is it, those private security or private police and all this other stuff. They did all that. They did that to come in here and take your land. Because they knew you didn't have no guns. Y'all wasn't together. You couldn't defend your land. You couldn't keep your land. So they felt like if we got the guns, we got the manpower, we got the guns, we just take all of this. And we're going to set up our government here. The hell with these people. They're going to be slaves. We're going to make them our slaves. We're going to make them second-class citizens. Or we just going to go and just annihilate and get rid of them so we can have this whole society for ourselves. This whole society of America today is based on crime. It's based on criminal activity. This whole thing is an ongoing RICO case. Ongoing RICO criminal case. Everything here was based in criminality here. As soon as these people got off their ships or their boats where they came from, in Europe they came off the boat stealing. Spreading disease. This is from their own scholars. Yet you let these people tell you who you are. You let these people define you. You let these people define you. You want to be like these people. You believe these people when they tell you you was somewhere in Africa swinging in trees and studying Islam, and like that idiot Ben Carson said, with his white handless puppet up his backside to make him say that nigger nonsense, that we came from someplace else. And we just going to hand over our Mesoamerican heritage. Not no more. Not no more. And again, this, as I'm going to say tonight, this needs to be a silent evolution taking place. I'm not going to go into it because that's 10 o'clock's broadcast. This needs to be a silent evolution. You see, we don't need no loud revolution. Because, see, all that loud trying to get the people's attention, the people who going to listen. The people who not. Like I said, a lot of our people, they've been black for so long, they are no longer in their right state of mind. They've been black for so long, they don't know how to think anything other than that. That's all. All they know how to do is be black. All they know how to be is Negroes. That's all they know. So it's useless trying to explain anything to them. No matter what you say to them, they're going to be contrary to it. No matter what you say, they're going to be contrary. No matter how much proof you got, yeah, brother, like we had a few clown-ass Negroes that came on tomorrow. Yeah, but brother, they got the slave ships in the music. See, what about all the slave ships? They're all of what slave ships? All of what slave ships? They just tell y'all niggas anything, man. And if in 2021 you still believe what the white man say, if you still believe that, and I'm talking about believe it to whereas accept it and you don't scrutinize it, because some of the things he say is the truth because it makes logical sense. It ain't because I want to make it the truth or I'm going to pick and choose what the truth is. The truth or what's real is set by what makes logical sense. What makes logical sense? Did it make sense to go and get people from a whole other culture and culture, a whole other society who are tribal, who don't really have any civilization? It made sense to bring those people over here to build a civilization. People who don't even have a civilization themselves. That made a lot of sense, right? You're going to bring people over and you're going to teach them to build a civilization that y'all couldn't even build in your own country. That's why you came here. No, you got people